Okay, here I am going to show you how I make my cover. Well, how I make it, sometimes it can change. There's different steps that kind of get switched up. Let's see. So I'm just I already bound it to a piece of fabric, which is going to be on the inside. And here's just a pizza box. I always save all the pizza boxes, and I've got 2 teenagers and almost teenager, a pre-teen almost. So we eat a lot of pizza. Yep, I'm just breaking down or tearing it down to the right size for the front and back. And then here in a second, I'm going to kind of sand the shiny part, which you don't really have to, especially since I go over it with the sewing machine, and that really gets it set. So I will be putting fabric on some of the jelly printed fabric on both the front and back of these, of the front and back cover. I really like that with the circles. And I love how you can just cut the end of the fabric and then rip the rest of it, and it just rips a perfect line straight down. And then I have stopped using the what is it, soft gel gloss and the glue wall. Elmer's cheap Elmer's glue wall will work pretty good too, but not like if I was just going to glue something on with fabric or something I needed extra sturdy, then I would definitely use the soft gel gloss. So I'm just adding the covers on to these large strip of fabric. And then just checking, making sure I got my measurements right. Now for the inside, which at this point I really didn't know if I was going to do which fabric was going to be on the inside and which one was going to be on the outside of the cover. And when I glued this on, I don't want to get anything in the middle part where there's not the pizza box. I don't want it where the actual spine is, and just on where the cardboard or pizza box or whatever, cardstock, whatever you decide to use. And then now I have dried it, mostly. Probably not all the way. I was a little impatient. And later whenever I'm sewing, after I get the main front and back cover sewn, I get a little bit impatient again, and instead of gluing those flaps down, letting it dry or drying it, I just sew it, and you'll see it whenever that comes up, which is next. Then I'm just getting how I like it, and I ended up liking it this way with the white space of the fabric on the bottom for the cover. So that's what I was doing. I was just moving it around and deciding how I wanted it to go. So here I'm going to sew. And I just want to sew the 2 pieces of fabric onto the pizza box, basically. And then just give a little bit extra texture. I always love sewing, even if there's no, I guess, functionality, or like, it's not like holding anything together. I like the stitching on the paper. So I think I did one side, do the other side. Sometimes I do go all the way across, like through the spine, but here I'm not sewing at all on the spine. I don't know if I'm going to add a decorative spine onto it or just leave it this one piece of fabric from the front end all the way around to the back end. Okay, so over there I kind of fixed it to where I want it, and now I'm actually putting the pages with the fabric. So I'm like, I'm not going to glue it, I'm just going to go ahead and sew it and hope that it all kind of stays together, and it did, so it worked out good. And you know, for the longest time with my sewing machine, I thought I had to stop whenever I went forward and reverse, like when I changed directions. And then I kept watching YouTube videos, and these people would, well, the ladies, they would just move the reverse thing, and it just keep going, and then reverse, and then keep going, and reverse, and back and forth. I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And I kept thinking that I'm probably going to break my sewing machine if I try that. But anyways, it worked. So now I don't have to stop every single time I change direction, which I used to do. And I've had my sewing machine, well, I've had a sewing machine. This is a new one, for probably over 2 years. There's something else that I didn't know about the sewing machine that was probably common sense to people, but it was not. It has to do when you're like wounding up the bobbin. But anyways, maybe I'll mention that some other time if I ever make a video about the bobbing. The bobbin, wounding the bobbin. So yep, and I just did that, and I'm going to bring it back over to my desk and show what I did really quickly, because I sped it up like almost 4 times the speed. So yeah, I like it. Oh, and then here in a second I'm going to add like a band around it, and it is literally just, I was trying to find the whole t-shirt, but it's like a kid's t-shirt or like pajama shirt, a pink one, and I just cut the sleeve into like a band. So see here, I don't know if I'm going to use that or not for the like a decorative cover, spine cover thing. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. But if I was going to use one, that's what I'd do, and I'd sew around it and glue it on and then sew it back on. But this, yeah, that little band thing right there, I just cut. It's just like a little chunk cut out of the arm of a little kid's shirt. Yeah, there. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope it gives you some ideas in your stuff. All right, bye.